good everyone, welcome to another virtual yoga club. Today's session is an upper body release, which is especially for my cousin Anna, especially requested. So just a note on that, actually, if you have anything that you are wanting to work on, send me a message and I'll be able to incorporate it into future plans that we do, and it always gives me fresh ideas as well, which is great. The first thing we're going to do today is our seated twist. So sitting in a comfortable position where you can use your knees as leverage. We're going to bring our arms up, take a nice deep breath in. Then we're going to twist. So I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left knee. My left hand goes behind my back and I'm looking over my left shoulder. And we're going to bring it back to center, bring those arms up again, take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, left hand goes to outside of right knee, right hand behind me, looking over my right shoulder. And back to center. The next thing we're going to do is some nose circles. So pretending that you're drawing a circle with your nose, we're going to do 5 very slow circles clockwise and 5 anti-clockwise. So starting, nice big circle. Really slow movement. And once you've done 5 in one direction, stop and go back the other way. The other reason to keep it nice and slow, other than protecting your neck, is that you don't get too dizzy. Okay, once you bring that chin back down to center, we're going to do a cat and cow with our neck. So we're going to come up, breathing in, coming down, breathing out. So this time instead of drawing a circle with my nose, going straight up, drawing a line and coming back down. We're going to do 10 of these, so we've done 2. And back to center. Good. We're going to bring our arm across our chest now. Keep taking nice deep breaths. And swap sides. relax. Okay, now it's time for our neck stretch. So fingertips on the mat, using the other hand to come up and over and just apply a tiny bit of pressure, stretching all the way down that left side. For this one today, just to enhance it, I want you to bring your nose slightly in towards your armpit, as gross as that sounds. And it's just going to get more surface area stretched on the neck. And release that, slowly come back to center. This time my right fingertips are on the mat. I'm going to reach up and across with my left hand, starting the way we normally do. Take a few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, turn that nose in towards the armpit. Release that hand, gently bring the neck back to center. Okay, so we're going to use our straps today for our last couple of warm-up stretches. So make sure you've got some space behind you. I'm going to wriggle forward a bit more. Okay, so I want you to grab your strap, and the width that you hold it at is going to be up to you. If you're quite tight, I'm quite tight in the chest, so I'm going to have a fairly wide grip in order to do this stretch. Basically what we do, I'm going to start with the hands over the top. So the back of my hands is on top of the strap, and I'm going to come up and back. This is going to start opening up the chest. So you should be able to do it without bending your elbows. So we're not coming down, keeping those arms straight, up and over. If it's too hard, widen your grip. If you're finding it really easy, bring your hands in a bit closer together, and that's going to make it a bit harder. Try and keep the neck nice and free while you're doing this. Stretching our chest, some of our arm muscles. If you find your shoulders are getting a little bit tight with that one, stop. Give them a little bit of a loosen up with some shoulder rolls. This is a really good way to open up the chest, especially this is a good warm-up for powerlifting as well. Alright, we got one more strap stretch to do, and for me this is one of the poses, one of the stretches that really highlights how tight I am in the chest. Basically I'm going to take my strap, put it over my back, one hand on the top, and I'm going to use my back hand, turn around so you can see, to try and walk up the strap towards my top hand. So I'm keeping my neck free, I'm not jamming my neck down, but some people can hold their hands behind their back. I most certainly cannot do that. So this is just a good way to use the strap to help you enhance that stretch. But my neck is free, not putting all my pressure on my head. Good, then we're going to go from the other side. This is even worse. And release that one. Hello. Alright, we're going to head into our Cobra now. We've got a different way to rest in our Cobra pose today, so keep an eye out for that. Coming into our starting position. Sorry, there's just so many leaves on my mat today. Hands under shoulders, elbows in nice and close. Let's start by lifting the head up, elongate the neck. Use the core and the glutes, then engage the arms. Keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. Today we're going to do gentle look over each shoulder. Really gentle. Not a huge rotation. Back to center with the other side. Back to center. Remember, you're not craning your neck upwards either. Keep it nice and loose. I'm going to do a gentle look over each shoulder again. So when you are looking over your shoulder, sort of one side at a time, stretching the neck, always important to come back to center rather than going straight over to the other side. Alright, we're going to lower down this time. Bring your hands together. Pillow for your head and release. Okay, we're going to come up now into our tabletop position for cat and cow. Okay, so we're going to add some different hand positions to our cat and cow today to sort of start stretching around the arms. But we're going to start normally with our wrists under elbows, under shoulders, knees under hips, really slowly, in time with your own breath. Roll the shoulders back, belly button towards the mat, breathing in, looking forward. And roll the shoulders forward, push the spine to the ceiling, and exhale. Remember, the tailbone initiates each movement. From here, I'm going to get you to turn your fingertips in towards each other in the center, and keep doing the same thing. This time we're going to turn our fingertips out to the side. Okay, and sitting back in that hero pose. And we're going to move into our thread the needle for the upper body. So we're staying in this position still. I'm going to take my left arm, reach it through, resting my head and my shoulder on the mat, using that right hand to push against the mat. And then swapping over. Good, and we're going to move straight into our extended puppy pose. So tuck the toes under at the back, walking the hands forward, sinking down into that stretch. Arms, head and torso are staying off the mat. Okay, we are going to come up to a standing position now. Okay, we're going to do some forward folds coming up to a flat back. So this is the first part of our sun salutation A. So we're going to fold forward, come up to a flat back with an inhale, and then an inhale, and then sink down with each exhale. So bring the feet together for this one. I'm going to come up. Fold forward. We'll hold this here for a few breaths. And then with an inhale, we're going to come up to a flat back. Elongate the neck forward. Sinking down with an exhale. Take it in your own time and your own breath to find an inhale, come up. Lengthen the neck, and then exhale, sink down. Do 3 or 4 of those. Then very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're going to come up, stacking them one at a time on top of each other. Your head should be the last thing to come up. Good. Now the next few stretches aren't technically yoga poses, but they're really good chest, shoulder, neck stretches that you can do if you're feeling tight. The first one is to find a wall or a bookcase or a doorway that you can put your arm up at this sort of position. So my right arm is pressed in from the elbow to the wall. I'm going to step forward with my right foot, but then I'm going to press against that wall and turn away and look over my left shoulder. So the stretch is coming in through the chest. Bend that forward, that front knee forward to enhance that stretch. Doorway is a really good one to do this stretch with, and then you can do it with both hands up at the same time as well. That one, if you're using both arms, you're not looking over your shoulder, you're just looking forward. Just thought I'd clarify. Okay, let's do the other side for that one. So the elbow, forearm and hand are pressed up against the wall. That same foot goes forward, bend the knee, and then rotate, look over the other shoulder. That stretch comes in across the chest. It's also good to think about, say you have a sore neck, think about the other things that are connected to your neck that could be causing your neck to be sore. So other muscles could be tight or even pulled, causing your neck to overcompensate. One of the big things is you've got a sore neck, you could have bad feet. I shouldn't say bad feet, you could have tight feet, and then that will affect your whole posture all the way up. So when we think of, I've got a really sore neck, I should, stretch it, think about stretching everything that is around it and connected to it. Alright, coming out of that one. Okay, we're going to do our wide leg forward bend. Now we're going to add a T-up twist. So if you have a yoga block handy, could be good to just bring it in front of you just in case you need it. Otherwise, pick a wide stance that is a stretch but not like intolerable for you to stay in. So you want to be able to hold it. You want it to be realistic. Okay, remember we're going to keep that upper body nice and tight in the core. Keep that back nice and straight. Chest open, shoulders back, hinging from the hips. We're going to come down into that stretch. So start the stretch today with your hands resting wherever you want them to be. Can be behind your calves, on your feet, hands on the ground, or on your block. It's completely up to you. Ooh, my neck's slipping. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, from here we're going to move into our tee-up twist. Just going to readjust my feet because my mat is slipping. So I'm going to put my right hand on the ground in front of me. Then I'm going to use my left arm to come up and twist. Good. Slowly bring that arm back down. Place it in the center. This time your right arm is going up for the twist. If that's too hard, bring your block in, and that should make it a little bit easier. If not, you can just do the twist without reaching the arm up overhead. Bring it behind your back if you want to. Totally up to you. Then we're going to come back down into that stretch and hold it for a little bit longer. You can always reach the hands back and through as well. And when you're ready, keeping that back nice and straight, keeping the core engaged, using the legs to bring yourself up. Good. Come out of that pose. We're going to head into our dancer. So if you need to find a spot where you've got something to keep your balance, that's all good. Otherwise, let's get to it. Now you might be wondering, Yvette, how is dancer pose an upper body pose? Wow. We're using it today because it is the act of holding onto that back foot. It's going to start to open up the chest. Sneaky, I know. So, we're going to use our left foot as our base foot first. Whoop. Pick the right foot up. Push it back. Remember, we're making that window. And if you're pushing your foot into your back hand, you should feel that stretch in your chest and your arm. Gently release that one. Good, swap sides. If you want to pause it and hold it for a little bit longer than that, that's okay. Or go back again and do each side again. Totally fine. Alright. Right leg is my base. Pick the left leg up. Make that window at the back. Push that foot back against that hand. Gently coming out of it. So that's also going to stretch the quads, obviously, but it is encouraging that chest to be open as well. And like we were talking about before, stretching everything is going to benefit the thing that's giving you that pain or discomfort. Alright, let's come back down towards our mat now. We're going to start with our downward dog. Be mindful in downward dog today of not tucking your chin. You want to keep your neck nice and free. Ears are sort of just resting in between the arms. Everything should feel nice and free and, yeah, not tight and locked up. So, into that tabletop. First, tuck the toes under, pushing the hips up and back. If you're feeling tight in the legs as well, give yourself a bit of walking dog. If not, just think about pushing those hands into the mat, pushing those hips up to the roof. back down, drop the knees. I'm going to come into a hero pose today. If you'd prefer to do here for a little bit, that's okay as well. And do one more downward doggery. That's always a nice stretch to throw in whenever you can. This time I want you to think about whether you feel like you want to pull your shoulder blades together or push them apart while you're doing your downward dog. Neither is right or wrong, I don't think, from what I learned anyway. I think it just changes the nature of the stretch as you're doing it. So yeah, just have a play around with it and see which one feels more comfortable to you, if one enhances the stretch better for you, or if you feel no difference at all. Tuck the toes under, picking the hips up, pushing them back. So you pull your shoulder blades together, brings your shoulders away from your ears. Pushing your shoulder blades apart, brings your ears a bit closer to your arms, but you get more of the stretch in your back, I feel. Back and lats feel a little bit more engaged. Dropping the knees down, back into that hero pose. So we've got a new pose to do here today. It is our half bow pose. So it's the same idea as the dancer, where the act of holding onto your foot is opening up the chest. We're going to do a half version today because full bow can be quite tricky, especially if you are tight already in the chest or upper body. So I'm going to start lying on my belly. I'm going to reach back and hold on to the same foot with the same side. Then I'm going to push my foot against my hand again. Oh my goodness. And that is going to open up the chest and the arm. My eyes are forward. You can try this if you want to do double bow, or full bow I should say. Just grab the other foot at the same time. I might attempt it next time. This is half bow anyway. It's a little bit easier to balance. Really push that foot back, open up the chest. Otherwise, see, a bit tighter on that one. There we go. Knees together, push the feet back. Keep the neck nice and free. So that's your full bow. I haven't done full bow for a while. If you have got a tight or sore neck at the moment, I would probably not recommend doing the full bow. Just try half, and if that feels okay, maybe try the full, but I think it can possibly encourage us to seize up and tighten that neck, and that might not help. So just be better safe than sorry, but it is a good one, just like that dancer pose. Open up the chest one side at a time. Alright, let's take it really easy now. We're going to lie on our backs, on our mats. Okay, first things first, we're going to roll our shoulders back, legs out. Kind of tucked my glutes, tuck my tailbone under I should say. My hips are open, shoulders are down away from my ears, palms out to the side. Take a few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our arms up and overhead, resting them above your head. If they're a bit tight in the shoulders, just open them up a little bit. Maybe have a wider, what's the word? Not stance. Think about sinking into that stretch with every exhale. take a second as well to do a little bit of a body scan while you're in this position. So for me, what I'm noticing is my hands are in pretty much the same position. On the right hand side, my full arm is touching the ground. On the left hand side, my hand is on the ground, but everything else is pretty much off the ground until it gets to my shoulder. So that tells me that there's some tightness on the left side that isn't the same as the right. It's not bad or anything. It's just starting to help you become aware of like imbalances or any differences in your body, and I think it just pays to sort of be aware of what's going on, and you might be able to link it back to something that you do, or you might not. Don't panic if things aren't like perfectly symmetrical, or you can do something really well on one side but not on the other. It's just how it is. Just keep practicing. Have patience, be resilient. We're not meant to be perfectly balanced on every side and be able to do everything super well. It's just not the nature of who we are. Getting very deep and philosophical a bit. Okay. I can't see my listening. Alright, we're going to finish today with a really nice restorative pose. So what I'm going to get you to do is find a wall that is free, that you're not going to knock anything off. Even a door is a good one to use. If you don't have any free wall space or a door that you can always use like the back of a couch, or you can just go with your legs up over the side of your bed. What we're going to do is we're going to come in close to the wall. So my butt's right up against the wall. I'm going to lie down, I'm going to rotate into the wall. My butt's still nice and close up against the wall. So are my legs, everything is connected. You might need to wriggle to readjust. But basically, this is called legs up the wall, funnily enough. And this is a really nice restorative pose, and we're going to stay here. The video is just going to fade out, and you can chill out in this pose. Rolling the shoulders back away from the ears, arms out to the side, and keep breathing nice deep breaths. You have to pick yourself up and wriggle in closer to the wall so everything's connected to the wall. That's all good. It's not the easiest one to get into, but once you're in it, super relaxing. Rest your arms out to the side, hands on your belly if you want. This is a really good opportunity if you have like a sweatshirt or something close by, or something to cover your eyes so you can keep the light out. Some chill music. Oh, perfect. And this position is also a really good one if you want to do that thread the needle. Using the wall can actually help enhance that stretch. So I've got my foot across my thigh, etc. Or you can do our bound angle pose, or cobbler pose I think it's also called. So my feet are together, and that one just opens up the hips as well. Lots of variations. You can just chill out for a bit. So I'll say goodbye now. Thank you so much. I can just see myself in the camera and it looks ridiculous. Thank you for coming and doing another virtual yoga club. I will see you next time. But for now, relax.